in juvenile justice and leadership and speaking, storytelling. I just seemed to dovetail directly into our cultural activism piece here at the festival, and we just thought it would be an excellent time to start a collaboration that hopefully will continue on. So we are honored to bring Hasan Davis up to the stage for some of his stories and poetry, and we just hope this is the beginning of a long partnership. So much thanks and respect.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Woo!
How many rooters we got in the house? I miss getting down to North Carolina. I've been a member of Roots for a long time. I used to be vice president of the board, and now it seems like I don't even get to say the word Roots very often. I've been caught up in another world. Right now I serve as Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Juvenile Justice for the state of Kentucky, which is a great place to be and a real hard time to be there. Trying to find justice for young people who've fallen off the path. And the arts, before I was that person, I was a teaching artist for a number of years, and I've had the opportunity. I toured 3 one-man shows nationally for about the last 15 years, telling the story of African Americans and American history. And it's good to be back with a little bit of art in my hands, and with the promise of doing a lot more. I see Carlton out there who's doing a dynamite job with Roots and helping move it forward. So I'm looking forward to getting reconnected to my roots.
Yes, come on back.
First piece I'm going to start with, I'm going to do 4 pieces. Is a piece that I always start my poetry with. My mother, Alice Lovelace, she's a dynamic, incredible artist, and hooked me into arts as a way to reclaim my soul, and I thank her for it daily. I'm going to start with a piece that I always start with. It's called Bebe's Song. Remember that song by Bill Withers, Lean on Me? Yeah. You know how it goes? Sometimes in our lives, help me out. We all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Anyway, that was a song on the radio the day I got the news about my cousin. See, I was at home by myself, had the radio turned up kind of loud, and I guess I was trying to sing when the phone rang. Hello, I said, but nobody answered. Hello, I said a bit louder, and this voice just screams, he's dead, Haas. They killed Bebe. And the world starts spinning, me trying to sit down before I fall, this voice echoing through my soul. They killed Bebe, and Bill is on the radio singing, call me when you need a friend. See, Bebe was my cousin, about the same age as my youngest brother Tony, and he was dead. Baby was a father at 16, used to run the streets. Well, we all ran the streets, but he knew how to laugh at himself. And you got to know how to laugh at yourself if you hope to survive those streets. So I go home for the funeral. And the boy who killed my cousin already out of jail. And that's when me and mine start talking like it's time to go play. You know, it's time to go play judge. It's time to go play jury. It's time to go play executioner. And that's when it hits me. This is what it's all about, holding on so tight and so long to the madness that eats you up from the inside, and it builds and it builds and then blam! You can't help but go off like that gun. And somewhere another mother sits in a room and waits for a phone that will never ring again. And then somewhere another child sits and waits by a door they're never going to open. And somewhere a whole family is changed forever. And that's not how I want to make it to the other side, see. So I start trying real hard not to let other people push my buttons and make me do things, but sometimes I still get so mad I can't see straight. Then that song pops into the back of my head. Sometimes I pick up the phone, I push the little star button, I say, hello. You know, I'm talking to the other side. I say, I miss you, baby. I say, I miss you, Stevie. I miss JoJo. See, JoJo was only 14 when they shot him in the head. I say, I miss you, and I will never forget you, and thanks for listening. I wish I could return the favor. I'll talk to you again real soon. Just keep watching my back. Peace. But the whole time, it's that song. See, it never stops playing in the back of my head. right up the road, and I'll share your load if you just call me, call me. See, I remember that song now because, well, now that's Bebe's song.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. This next piece I wrote, you know, we got a lot of Berea College students. Back in the day, at Berea College, we used to do something, and people used to work in Students for Appalachia, used to work with the community, and we do a lot of service. And we had a national service program called COOL, Campus Outreach Opportunity League. And we took students from here, you know, all over the country to do service projects. One of my first times doing that in the late 80s, we wound up in California, and I was working in a homeless shelter. And I was amazed at the number of vets from Vietnam at that time who had fallen off the path. Now, since then, we see the same tragedy carrying forward with our new vets, and it's very interesting. And being a veteran of the armed forces myself, it struck me as interesting how those who were pulled and given so much, whether by choice or by force, you know, are not given what they need to come back. And so I wrote this in response to one of the guys that I met in that shelter. It's called Aces. He looked into my face, one good eye dancing in the confusion that were his thoughts. Told you I could fly, he said, then coughed up something unrecognized. I am a pilot, see? I know that the old man with the unnatural curve in his back from sleeping in cans and hiding in doorways wasn't even 45. He removed an iron cross with tattered ribbons from a hole in his pocket. My secret place, he whispered. Sure, Ace, as he liked me to call him, could remember Vietnam like it was yesterday. The day he became MIA, that's missing in America, a post-war condition that captured many, took more than they had volunteered. Most returned mentally or socially bankrupt, and Ace was just another example. This American dream turned nightmare. Thanks for the emergency fuel, partner. He stuttered through, slurping the bits of cold soup down. I got me a stealth mission tonight, but I'll be all right. And if you hear from Uncle Sam, tell him I think I'm ready to go home. I mean, if they don't need me no more. He must have seen the look in my eyes, the hurt, but it never registered. As soon as I gets the thumbs up, he turned back into the darkness that was the city around us. I'll be ready to go. He pulled down his goggles, looked back over his shoulder. Tell him, long as they keep that light burning, I'll find my way home. I'm American made, boy, dependable and strong. I'm always going to find my way home. That's what he said, then spread his arms and glided into the darkness around us. I'm always going to find my way home. As he disappeared, I whispered hope for his fading words, turned on my porch light. I mean, we don't know how many more aces we got out there running low on fuel. Maybe if I keep that one light burning somewhere way off in the distance, one or two aces might recognize it. And maybe one day they finally get to come on home. These aces. Rockefeller Foundation's National Leadership Academy, Next Generation Leaders. And I was actually nominated by Kathy Denabriga, one of our Roots members. It's a great opportunity, but I had this chance to work with a group of national leaders from across sectors, religion, you know, education, NGOs, corporations, and it was this diverse group of folks who all came together to understand the responsibility that we all carry for people that don't look like, talk like, think like, act like us. As leaders, we have a responsibility to still find a way to value their place in the world. And so I wrote this piece initially for that experience, and I realized that as I moved through my roots experience and moved through my life experience, that this really is the story of kind of who we are. So this is called We Are. We are bean pies and burritos, bok choy and biscuits, bangers, barbecue and baklava. We are soul food. We are soulful. We are so full of life and hope and dreams that we span the continents and time. We are analysts and catalysts, troubleshooters and troublemakers, biking, walking, flying to the edge of our passion, throwing ourselves into the mix. We are teaching and learning, preaching and yearning. We yearn to be heard, but not as a voice. We are a movement in 4 parts. We are filmmakers and risk takers, inspired by the best women produce, awed by the worst mankind has accomplished. We have become weavers, not just of fabric or tales or history. We weave communities, spirits, minds, designing the rich tapestry of our own great future. We are business as usual, but there is nothing usual about the business we have taken up. Dynamic in force, we are not able to stand suspended, wasting energy, wasting time, wasting life. We are 7 generations strong. 3 before us set the course, and 3 behind shall reap the victory. And like the pyramids of the sun, we are rising to face the world. Defying science, we confirm the indomitable spirit of this humanity. We are wisdom glowing bright in young eyes, born proud in experienced smiles. We are straight and we are gay and we are questioning. We are questioning, why do you want in our bedrooms? Is it because you want to join in, or are you just trying to close that closet door? Because Pandora's box is open, baby, and we are coming out. I'm coming out. That's right. We are coming out, and we want the world to know. We want the world to know that if this bra doesn't fit, we are not going to wear it. We want the world to know that black will not sit back. We want the world to know that straight does not mean narrow. Not in focus, not in love, not in life. We are sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, some grand, some great, all young at heart. We are survivors of urban sprawls. We are dreamers of rural expansions. We are American by birth, by right, or by choice, because we are the ones we've been waiting for. We have been waiting for a sign. We have been waiting for the keys. We have been waiting for the truth, because unlike those few good men, we can handle the truth, and this truth shall set us free. We are the American way, or at least the American dream, manifested or not. It has become our destiny. We are human capital waiting for our return on investments of time and prayer and love. So right here we are choosing to stand. And right here we are learning to trust. And right here we are trying to build, no longer willing to wait for some others to act. We are the next generation, not to be confused with the first generation, not content to be the last generation. We are simply the next incarnation of the world we have always dreamed. We are of ancient thoughts. We are of universal truths. We are of unwavering faith, and we are just getting started. I said we are just getting started. That's right. We are just getting started to live and to love together. And right here, right now, we are. Thank you.
Amen.
Woo! Woo! Very much. This last piece, thank you. This last piece is a piece called Visions. I wrote it here at Berea. My experience coming to Berea was traumatic in a lot of ways. Coming from the streets of Atlanta, Georgia, with all of that stuff to this place. Back in the day, they had 2 stoplights, right? It wasn't the big metropolis we have now. So there were some pitfalls, some challenges. And one of those was me understanding that the lens I saw the world with was as skewed as the lens the world was seeing me with, and understanding that piece. One of my best friends now is a man named Eric. Called him Rollout back in college. And Eric was from Floyd County, way up in the coal mine country. And when I first met him, I was pretty sure this is going to be a real short introduction and somebody's going to get hurt right after that. You know, when I met him, he said, "Hey, my name's Eric. What's your name?" I said, "Hasan." He said, "Okay, Haas." I said, "Oh, yeah, this is going to hurt somebody." I said, "No, I'm sorry." I said, "Hasan." He said, "I heard you, Haas." I said, "All right." And so a couple days later, he came through the door, and we were living in Bingham. He said, "You know, yo, Haas, we're going to go over to Pablino's to get some pizza. You want to go with us?" I said, "No, thanks. I don't have any money." You know, and I turned around, kind of trying to keep myself in check. And a couple seconds later, I heard, "Yo, Haas," real belligerent-like, right? And I turned around. He said, "I didn't ask you if you had any money, man. I asked if you wanted to go and have pizza with me and my friends." I said, "Oh." It took me a while to adjust the lens and understand that, you know, if you sit in the boat and somebody blows a hole in the bottom, it's really easy to point fingers across there, but somebody's still got to work with you to get that hole plugged and get that water out. And so sometimes you got to let that short vision go and look long term. And Eric and I, like I said, Eric's one of my best friends now. And I wrote this piece back in the day as a tribute, not just that, but the idea of the way we should be working together to build community. It's called Visions. The bat fell fast and hard against my back and my head. My vision blurred, then focused. My vision blurred, then focused on the object of my pain and my fears. I wake trembling, lying in a pool of sweat. And on the television, the source of my pain brought to me in living color. See, somewhere a black man is being beaten to death and nobody seems to give a damn. See, somewhere a white man does lie bloodied and battered in some name of obscene justice. Somewhere, excuse me, I got caught up. Somewhere a white man lies bloodied and blatted in the name of some obscene justice. These are the images introducing us to a new world order. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and our great ideas might not survive such a storm. Somewhere stereotypes have been passed to a child who has never seen me before. A belief in the natural ignorance of color. A belief that justice is and should be based on the shades of one's darkness. Somewhere a child like me who grew up tired and hungry on the streets has had his greatest fear come to life. The fear that his pain matters less than the others. The fear that his struggle for equality guarantees him no respect. Somewhere our children, black and white, native and immigrant, have been led to ruin because justice has turned a blind eye on their tears. With these images, I drift painfully back to sleep. And in this dream, there is a weapon in my hands. And in this dream, there is a white man chained and thrown at my feet. And in this dream, he starts to curse me, goads me into what he knows must be my next act, but he still looks surprised as I raise that weapon high above my head and bring it down. And again, down upon these chains that have held us ignorant for so long. Then I extend my hand. So now as we start our journey toward understanding, he will learn that he can rest his tired weight on these strong black shoulders. So now as we start our trek toward the truth, I will learn that I can trust blue eyes to guard my back. So now as we start our pilgrimage toward unity, we will learn that justice is still alive. We will learn that just us, few people, have the power. See, we have the power to restore this beauty's righteous sight. And these are my visions for all of you, my people. Visions. Thank you very much. Appreciate the chance to be here too.
Thank you very much, Hasan Davis. The beginning of a long collaboration.